Just caught mine off of fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air. We back at it.
What's going on, everybody? We are back. Thank you for tuning in to SKF Weekly. You see it. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. All right. One day, one day I'm going to get the sound effects so I can kind of mimic what my guy Jose does. I just don't got it. And I don't really want to do his thing. And only one man can do it the way Jose does it. So
that's right.
Shout out to everybody. What's up, John? How you doing, my brother?
We
are back, baby. We are back, and we're better than ever.
Better than ever. Tied 2-2. We're in a series. We are in a series.
Oh no. What the hell happened? Last time we were talking, we were giddy. We were Josh giddy. We were all balls. We weren't that giddy because I don't know. But anyway, we were feeling real good about ourselves. Let's just say that.
So true, bro.
Damn.
And like in Knicks fashion, bro, it wouldn't be a Knicks season if we don't, run into some sort of, triumphant setting. I feel like Cam right now. I can't say words.
Bars. It's got to happen, bro. The Knicks can't do anything easy. I mean, and I guess we should expect it because this is how the team's always been. So it is what it is.
Cardiac Knicks, man.
Cardiac Knicks, the Jekyll and Hyde Knicks, the whatever you want to call them, man. They are all over the place. But that's why we love them, man. Because they just
hey, man. Can we
Go
pause
ahead.
for a second? I just want to congratulate you, bro, on air while we're on air.
Oh.
You did your damn thing on the show. What was it? Yesterday? Last night?
It was yesterday. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So speak on it so that way the folks can see. But I'm just saying, you're my guy. You did your thing, bro. You did your thing.
I appreciate it, man.
Congratulate you, bro.
I appreciate it. It was a great experience. I definitely thank Dexter Henry for, I've told him many times, listen, we are very fortunate as a Knicks community to have somebody who not only cares about the Knicks team, he cares about New York sports in general, but he cares about our Knicks team, and he cares about the people in the community that are covering the Knicks, the regular people like us that take the time and put our passion and our effort into being content creators and talking about this stuff and putting things together to make things entertaining and to make things a good show. And he actually champions us, man. He looks out for the Knicks community. He is always trying to not only lend his time to come on your show, he's also opening the invite, and he's on such a bigger stage. Like sometimes you take it for granted of how big a stage he's on, and he's opening those doors and allowing guys like myself to go up there and talk my stuff in front of all these people. I listen, I can't say enough how thankful and grateful I am to him. I also shout out to my guy Jigga Porto from Morning Brew Sports. He knows why. That's just like a little thing between me and him.
No doubt.
But I appreciate him for everything he's done. And shout out to all the Knicks content creators. And especially, let me tell you something. Quiet is kept. You know what I mean? One of the things that Dexter says about having people on the show is that he has people that he thinks are doing a good job. And I don't know if you guys notice. There's one in the chat right now. Shout out to my guy, Phil Porto from Morning Brew Sports. But let me tell you something. Those guys are always on Dexter's show. You know why? Because they always doing what they got to do. They go up there and handle their business. So shout out to the whole Morning Brew Sports crew.
Professional.
All of them, man. Great job. And heck with the Yankee coverage is killing it.
Listen. But look, it takes time and effort, man. It's a lot of work. Even behind the scenes, just day to day. As we all know, this is a sort of like. It's an extra thing that you and I have here. We come together and we chat it up, week to week to talk about our Knicks and stuff. And it's something we would have done anyway, right? Just behind the scenes. Now we're just bringing that forward. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you for sticking this through and making it happen. You know what I mean? Even the times that I can't make it or the times that I have to call out whatever to the family. Taking care of the family or not even being well at times, and you be holding it down, man. You do your thing. And then, you add on to the play because now you're doing the stuff with MBK, you know, and I started out with you and I can no longer do it because of time restraints with work and all. And then you continue to work on Saturdays, man. So you put in the work. So, you know, it's showing. The fruits of your labor is showing, bro. And congratulations to you, bro.
Well, thank you. Once again, like I said, I appreciate the opportunity. And I also appreciate my brother John for helping me get to this point to even try to have this show for you guys, be able to talk to our fellow Knicks fans and do this thing, because if not for him, I would not be here doing this because I needed that extra push. So shout out to you, my brother. I definitely appreciate you for everything you've done.
And you stuck down.
Yeah, nah.
Now you locked in.
Now I'm locked in. That's what I tell all these bandwagon Knicks fans. Don't come over here, because once you say you coming over here, now you stuck. You're right. No going back.
and if we turn it to the worst, if we turn back to the worst, you gotta follow through. You gotta. That's
right. That's right. I expect you to be here for the long haul, Knicks fans. Okay. Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat once again, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. As we already said, shout out to our guy Phil Porto. It was tough for Phil, man, because Phil's been, you know, trying his best to support this Knicks team. And he actually went to Indiana. He witnessed that carnage that happened. Phil. It's okay, brother. It's okay. Oh man, it's tough. Shout out to my guy Andios. Salute to you, my brother. Salute. Always a pleasure to see you. Andios put up another one of those funny videos. He did a Terror Squad thing with the morning brew sports guys with their heads on the Terror Squad people. Big pun rapping. It was fire. Shout out to Andios. Excuse me. Shout out to my guy Dwayne. Oh, hold on one second. I gotta still get back into that. I forgot. For my people out there who are listening and not watching. Andio said, salute, peace, love, and blessings. Okay, next up is Dwayne Dennis. Salute to you, Dwayne. Appreciate you, my brother. He said, yes, we'll have to remain optimistic with our team. Unfortunately, we're injured. If we weren't, we would be Eastern Conference contenders beating Boston conveniently. Let's all support to the end. I hear you.
I think that's Eastern Conference champions, not contenders.
Oh, so my bad. I'm like contenders. Like what? My bad. Eastern Conference champions. Right. There you go.
We're gonna be Eastern Conference contenders soon.
Yeah. It's a matter of time. But thank you for clearing that up. Appreciate you. Nice. Damn it. I don't know what is heck this? Aquelo Mio. I don't know. But anyway, shout out to my guy. Nice. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to all the brothers and sisters. Tomorrow is personal. Yeah, this time it's for real. Yeah, I hear you. Nice. What's going on, brother? He said also, players to watch from the start is our three Villanova Cats. Brunson leading the pack, follow with the lights out, Devo, and get out the way for Josh Hart. Yeah, man. I hear you. He also said, we can be injured, play on one leg. Pacers might have all of their players available. One thing we can't say is that New York team always find a way. One thing we can say is that New York team always finds a way. Facts. Listen, that's what they do. Hey,
this entire season, man.
What's the mantra? You know it.
Yeah.
All heart, no
quit.
That's what it is. That's what it is, y'all. Don't stop. Keep believing, y'all. I know it's a little adversity, but this is the Knicks. We've been dealing with adversity forever watching this team.
It's supposed to be a series. We're in one. It's all that matters. We're in one right now. We got to handle our business tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the official Payback in the building. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Listen, I don't know if you saw my message. I know on Saturday's show you had mentioned that that you got some bars, and if somebody got a beat. Well, like I put in the chat, put your email in the chat and I'll send you a beat. Maybe you can, rhyme over that and see how it goes, man. We'll try to look out, whatever we could do. Shout out to you. Good to see you, my brother. He said, oh, wait. He said, hey, man, I work 5 minutes away from the facility. Tibbs. What's the code? Oh, yo. Nice. He said, I got a playbook. Andios. Oh, my bad. He said, what up, Knicks Nation? How y'all feeling? Okay. Then I already shouted out Phil. Andios. Okay. Phil also said, you, my guys, thank you. You guys are family and keep me going in this. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Official Payback said, grew up alone. Knicks universe is my family. Oh, wow. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you. It took you a while to get here, but now that you're here, you're welcomed in, and you're a part of it for us here as well. And shout out to your homeboy who knows you and said that you're quite the athlete as well, former athlete. So shout out to you, man, for doing your thing. Filled with the positivity. Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh, look at my guy, Jay Boogie in the building. What up, Jay Boogs?
Got the hardest remix on Knicks planet right now.
Oh, John, what do you think about that symphony song,
That's
bro?
crazy. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's fire.
Love
yeah.
It. That's what I'm talking about. He brought it back. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of the original symphony where you had, your hitters, you know what I mean? So I like that. A little bit of nostalgia, you know what I mean? And everyone killed it. So that was pretty dope. It's not, like I said, it's the hottest one out right now.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is.
We should end the show with it today.
I think we will. I think we will. Shout out to everybody, man. Good to see all y'all. Okay. I think all right. Let's get it cracking, y'all. Guys, all right. I know. Knicks said, the series is tied 2-2. Knicks looked really bad yesterday. Things didn't work out the way we would have liked it to work out, but it happens. We're not used to it happening in the playoffs so far with this team, but it happens. And if it was going to happen, at some point, it was going to happen to a team like the Pacers who can run up the score. Right. So, and we know that the Pacers are a really hot shooting team. Sometimes they're going to have it going. Yeah, they were like everybody and their mama was shooting threes yesterday. Right. And everybody for the Knicks could not buy a basket. So it's just a perfect storm. Horrible. What do you think about the game, John?
It was interesting because I had a lot. Well, I was doing a little bit of running around, and I've been getting some stuff done in the house. So I was sort of back and forth, but I didn't catch the game from start to finish. I caught bits and pieces of it, and I'm glad I did, because every time I looked at the score, it was like up 15, then it was like up 26, and then it was like up 31, and then down to 26. And I think we got it. We didn't get it down below 20 at some point. Like they just kept it above 20 then almost the entire game. So outside of the start of the game. So I do have it recorded. I plan to watch it again before tomorrow night's game. Good thing I'm working from home tomorrow, so I get a chance to view that and work. So it's gonna be interesting, man. But yeah, it's unfortunate, man. We didn't have it going. It seemed like Brunson didn't have it going. It looked like Deuce shot it poorly as well. I think that was the biggest concern for me, is seeing Deuce not, get his shots off the way he's, in most recent times has done it. Like even with the 76ers game, he knocked it down from 3, and he was shooting it at a high clip. And right now it just seemed like, he's off right now, and he hasn't been himself really. So I'm looking for a bounce back game from Deuce. That's who I'm really looking forward to seeing tomorrow and seeing what he can do, not only defensively but offensively as well. And then defensively, he's having a little bit of trouble guarding Halliburton right now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm paying attention to right now. And then Jalen Brunson, he's gonna get his. You know what I mean? When you look at the numbers, he didn't shoot it well. Devo didn't shoot it well. Josh Hart didn't get much going right as well. So overall, it was just a tough game, man. A tough game to watch. I'm going to sit through it, like I said, tomorrow before the game. And then I'll really have a better understanding of what we could fix and change. But it just seemed to me like it was just a bad shooting night. So share with me what your thoughts are, because you probably watched it from start to finish.
Unfortunately, I saw a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie, I missed maybe the last 8-9 minutes in the fourth quarter. I actually had to get out of here to get to SNY. But I will say
there wasn't much to see in the last 8 minutes.
What I saw enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was crazy, bro. It was so it was frustrating because you're watching it and you're saying to yourself, damn it, man, I don't like this, but I know who these Knicks are. And sometimes they will go down to a team early and then they'll fight back.
Come back, yeah.
But like watching it, you could be a Knicks fan all you want. This basketball is basketball. At a certain point, you're like, whoa, this league is pretty.
And they ain't got it.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, damn. It got to that point, and I was like, oh my God. And then I said, okay, going into the second half, I said, man, the Knicks got maybe 2 runs in them. And it just kept going.
They didn't get into anything.
Kept going.
Man.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what's funny is that my son was like, he will swing by and be like, Dad, what's going on? Like, they're not rebounding. They're not. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I wasn't able to watch, get tuned in. And then it was halftime, and he was like, dude, if they keep playing like this, they're not winning the series. I was like, bro, you talking about a series right now? Like, stop, like, chill out. I was like, after halftime, if the Knicks go on a run and we could cut it to 15, if we cut it to 15 by the fourth quarter, we have a shot. That's what I was telling him. He was like, not if they're playing the way they're playing. And I was like, I don't know, because I haven't watched. So I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, dude, he was just telling me, he was like, look, just if you watch it for like a quick second, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And by all means, he was 100% right. He was like, they're not getting to loose balls. They're tapping the ball out to the opposing team. He was like, they weren't collapsed. They were sort of like leaving the threes open from the corner. And they were like, he was like, they're over pursuing and all that. So I was like, yeah, listen, those are bad habits that we've talked about this entire season, right? Where you can't let good shooting teams get wide open threes from the corner. And if that was the case, and I'm going to watch a little bit more tomorrow, but if that was the case, and from moments that I seemed that was an issue. So I don't know, man. It's going to be something to watch out for right now. But I still think we have the testosterone fortitude to get through this. You know what I mean? And push through this. I think we're going to come out tomorrow's game like smoking hot. I think we're gonna be in attack mode from start to finish. I really think it's gonna be like our statement game, because they just gave us a statement game. So we got to give one in return. So I think
100%.
We end up seeing tomorrow.
100%. And everyone tuned in right now, please, if you haven't subscribe to the show. We'd love to have you. We are building something here. We want you guys to all be a part of it. And if you haven't smashed that like button, please do. Shout out to those who may be also tuned in on Facebook or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. The other thing too, man, is I got to tell you, there's a bad habit that has formed, and maybe the Knicks can only do so much about it. I will give Indiana credit for being active. I'm not going to give them credit for having like necessarily good defense, because yesterday was a combination of them being very active and the Knicks not being able to buy a basket. I mean, even if a Knicks player was wide open, he was missing. So I don't want to make it seem like Indiana shut them down defensively. No, I will not say that. I will give credit to guys like McConnell and Nesmith, because they have been doing a fantastic job on Jalen Brunson with 1 foot. But mind you, it's Jalen Brunson with 1 foot. When he had both feet healthy, he was cooking whoever was in front of him. But I'm still giving him credit, because they are playing really good defense on him, and they're making it difficult. He has to work for it. And now it's even more prevalent because he's kind of banged up.
Well, the great thing about Brunson is that he's not making any excuses about it. Abu or not, he's still taking ownership and saying he has to be better. That I did see. I did watch the post game, conference, and heard what they all had to say. And I think, they all know what's at stake right now. And they all know that they could come out. If they come out flat in the next game, then they're going to make it that much harder to win in Indy. You know what I mean? And by all means, you're not going to get the referees call. You're not going to get any calls, when you're in Indiana. And for a closeout game at that. So you definitely need to, come true tomorrow and be what you have been this entire season, right? It's straight out
100%.
hustle and just, go after it. So I'm happy that Brunson isn't making any excuses.
Yeah, no, he's a professional, a stand-up guy, and he's a leader. He's this is what we've needed. The Knicks have needed this for a long time. They've had good players that have wanted the role, but doesn't mean they're necessarily right for the role. He has come along and he has been the perfect person for the role. And when he's good and good to go, everybody benefits from it. So now it's it's a point of him understanding what can I do, and how can I continue to make my team better, because they have to pick me up. Like now he needs the team to pick him up. So they gotta figure it out tomorrow, and I think they will. But I will give Indiana credit for this. Their offense is actually a really nice thing to watch. When it's going, the way they move the ball, it's very tough for you to play good defense against them. And you would think, I mean, this is like common sense. And this is why it's a little frustrating, guys. And I know some people might look at it and it's like, this doesn't make sense. Why is he always open? A team that moves the ball as efficiently and as effectively and as active as Indiana, they're moving around, but they're also moving the ball. You can say, I don't want to leave Halliburton open, but it's not as easy as you think. The way they move the ball so quick and the way the Knicks rotations are, how they always constantly switching, they're going to catch people in bad spots. And maybe it won't be Halliburton that time, but it's really just a setup. Let's get the shot. Oh, Nesmith is open in the corner. Well, he might knock that down. So he's a bad idea, but you know what I mean? But it could be anybody. That guy's open in the corner that one time. The next time they'll rotate it backwards. And then Halliburton will be on the other side. And now he will get it. They just find a great way to move their offense. And unfortunately, the Knicks being hobbled and tired, they were tired. It is what it is. It makes it tough. You got to be very active. You guys know, let's not forget, it's only a year ago that we talked about this Knicks team, how they could not stop three-point shooters. Three-point shooters was lighting us up. Even some points this year, we had moments where that was happening. But once guys locked in, once we got OG Anunoby and the rest of the defenders were able to okay, we got more defense. We got people to shut down the paint. Now we can press up and be a little bit more aggressive. We started stopping that. Now we're at the point where we're injured. We don't have all those guys, and that stuff is starting to creep back up. So, John,
you know who has to be big in these moments is Precious. Precious has to find a way to clog up the middle. You know what I mean? And so does Hartenstein. You know what I mean? And I think the reality is that in moments like this where the big has to step up, that means that the guards have to drop down and also play that passing lane. You know what I mean? Not allow for back cuts and not get caught sleeping, have your head on a swivel, like they like to say, and just, call out any switches, call out any back cuts, or, just be vocal. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important part. There were moments in the game when I was watching where you could see some of their players cutting to the basket, cutting to the middle, or finding that extra pass out to the corner, because they had the center collapsed, and so we just we can't be rushing we can't be jumping at closeouts, right? And I think that's the biggest mistake we can make as a defense is being active with our hands is one thing, being attentive to a jump shot or chasing and trying to block a jump shot or contend a jump shot from as far of a distance that we are when we're closing out. We're not set in order to get back into a defensive stance if we're chasing the corner three, right? So we got to close out, but close out being precautious of the dribble drive, right? So close out, but be in a defensive stance where you can actually cut off a driving lane, you know what I mean? Right. And not allow for a pump fake to get you up in the air, and that is what I seen also during this game, was we were running to people instead of closing out without actually chasing the three.
That's fair. That's a good point. Shout out to my guy. Look at him. D-Block in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. We appreciate you as always. Thank you for being here. John Smith is in the building. Salute to you, John. He said Knicks players said they were not motivated and it was an early game. I think the 3:30 p.m. time, lack of rest, both contributed to the loss. They had bad first, second, and third quarters, but the fourth was good. Yeah. I mean, the fourth was extensive garbage time, but I hear you. At least they looked like they were a functioning team at a certain point in the fourth, even with the bench guys in there. So, but yeah, you're right. The 3:30 start was it. The NBA has not done the Knicks any favors, and it's not necessarily the Knicks. It was the Eastern Conference thing, but the fact that they got these games and it's back, like it's every other day. Like I can't even tell you the last time I saw a playoff series where they were doing every other day. Like it's been a while, and this year they've been doing that, and the East Coast teams have been really getting it. Apparently, on the West, there's been a couple of the series they've gotten an extra day or two of rest. So I don't know what the hell's going on. The Knicks have been screwed all year. I don't know what it is, bro.
It's the Ranger games. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe, who knows, man. I don't know.
China, bro. And they're winning. Oh, they're up 3-1, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So shout out to, I got a couple more people I want to shout out real quick. We got somebody backstage. Unfortunately, we can't do the normal phone line setup. So, but at least we're on StreamYard, so we can open it up for open panel and people can come on and share their thoughts. So the link is out there if you want to jump on and say some words as we get through the show. Where was I? So D Block also said they were tired, lack of effort, and just awful defense. Tibbs has to stop with all this switching. iHeart stays getting caught guarding a guard and leaving the perimeter wide open for all those threes. Yeah. I mean, right now, there's a right now we're in a very interesting situation. So I'm hoping that tomorrow's game plan is something foreign to us for Indiana and foreign to them, because we kind of been playing with them and playing at their pace, and it really backfired yesterday. We got smoked playing their pace. I think the Knicks are going to try to slow it down. I think they're going to try to do different things to bring them back.
I definitely want to see some new nuance to the offense right now, because we keep running the same, sets, and I think Indiana's just caught on to the sets that we're running. So it's time to open up that playbook. You can go back to it when you need a bucket, but I think it's important to show them some new looks, just to get, because they have a deep bench, and at the end of the day, they're not going to run their guys ragged or tired. We unfortunately are on demand, and we have. I mean, I'm not going to say we have no choice. We do have a choice, but that's Tibbs' choice. Tibbs' choice is to play the guys he's comfortable with playing, and that's what it's going to be. So we gotta show him some other looks on the offensive side. That way, you know what I mean. They aren't just locked in, knowing exactly where we want to go with the ball. A lot of it is Brunson heavy, but I think we gotta look to try to get other players involved in the offense as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Nice had said something, and he's backstage, by the way, waiting.
Okay.
He said, I'm tired of all these coaches propelling the narrative about big market team when it has been over, who knows, maybe 50 years we have not got a chip. It's very true. The big market thing is ridiculous. And I think, I don't know, I forget, maybe it was Morning Brew. It was one of the other shows that they were mentioning it and talking about the fact that really when it comes down to it, there's not a lot of big market teams. There's only a few, and the ones that you can name, maybe two of them have been in playoff basketball. It was a horrible excuse. I know. Listen, shout out to Rick Carlisle. That was a coaching move right there. It worked. Mm-hmm. He got it out. He took the $35,000 fine, whatever. But the refs, he made it a point, and now the refs have to start looking at things in their favor, and it worked. So shout out to Rick Carlisle. He knew that was BS. But
that's really what it was about. It's like in baseball when a coach knows, even if he knows he's going to get thrown out of a game, he has to protect his players. And
you got to going to get his money worth too.
Right. He's got to get his money worth. Right. I think we should bring in. Let's bring in Nice in now, and then we can go over through some of these, maybe some other questions, and maybe get Nice to respond to some of those as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Nice.
What's good?
What's going on, brother?
How's everybody doing?
Chilling, man. Welcome to the show.
Man.
Sweet baby Jesus. Hey, God bless everybody in the panel, and God bless everybody in the chat, bro. How's everything?
Everything's good, man. Can't call it.
Yeah, man. Can't complain, man. We here. Well, I mean, there's not a bunch of questions. So we'll just get into what you're thinking. Nice, but let me just shout out 713 Gamer in the building. What up, Fliggity? What's going on, my brother? He said the legend. Drip Moore, the preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community, is in the building. Let's go. Drip Moore is in the building. Salute. We also got Big Task at Hand in the building. Ron, good evening. Salute. You look like a natural on SNY. Hey, oh man, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
And you were looking debonair.
Hey, I once in a blue, I got some stuff in my closet.
I see you.
I mean, I do got a regular job. Yo. I do got to dress like that. So
that tie game is it's on point.
Yeah, we try. Shout out to Long Island Sound in the building. He said, what's good? And Knicks will be 2024 NBA champs is in the building. Salute, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Hey, so nice, man. What's your thoughts, man? How'd you feel about, I know it was a lot. How do you feel about what's going on with that last game? Or if you have some other thoughts that you came in with?
Well, at least just to get this thing out of the way, I love working and doing my thing and enjoying the game for what it is. I appreciate that Josh Hart said what he said, because it's true, bro. The best way that we could actually enjoy and keep on doing what we're doing is because the only time that we have is dedicating that small time on games like that. But man, I just hope that the NBA, they do something about everything that they doing, because if they continue on that path, bro, literally it's not about somebody in particular. It's the NBA is destroying the NBA. There's no it's so much what if. Everybody want to keep on blaming Coach Sib, and I'm not talking about you guys in particular, like John and Ron, but I'm talking about in particular, like, listen, if that Embiid, what he did to Mitchell Robinson, if he was suspended right out of the get-go, that's it. That would have been way more time for our player to actually rest, give them an appropriate time. And it's just one of those that I guess you thinking. I never seen in my life since I started watching the New York Knicks. And that was in the time of what's his name, Nate Robinson. That's when I really became a Knicks fan. That when we get to the playoff, we literally get 3 days in between once we move on to the next house. This is the main reason I get pissed off of watching games, because the inconsistency of them not even keeping it consistent. If you want to do something weird or different, I do it. But at the same time, have consideration. We have a depleted roster. We don't have Julius Randle. We don't have now OG. We don't have Mitchell Robinson. What are you guys trying to do?
And actually, and the funny thing is, you would think that the NBA would say to themselves, I know they can't do that. They have to be impartial and not biased. But just from the standpoint of this is a production, this is a business, you would think you would want the teams that are playing to have the best possible chance to put on a good show. So, why wouldn't that come into consideration? Why, maybe it's set up that way because of the way the scheduling was. Okay, change the schedule, or at least change one day. You know what? This week, instead of we're pushing it back, they're not going to play today. They're going to start playing tomorrow. It makes a difference.
Ron, you could say that, but it's so many BS happening, because, like, listen to this. You remember when we was about to get Zion William? Yeah, all of a sudden, we all knew that pretty much they have a game plan. Pretty much the NBA, whoever has the worst, let's say record, normally gets first pick. We had the worst record that year. The worst. And we don't get 1, we don't get 2, we get 3. It's things like that makes you start questioning pretty much everything. Like, what are you trying to do? I understand that New York, they don't have a problem filling up the seat, but keep it consistent. if you're gonna start making up a rule or something like that, don't do it that year because it's convenient for you. Because New York got the worst record, so we're not trying to give it to New York. Do it next year.
What are your thoughts on Atlanta winning the draft this year?
I was just thinking, like, oh boy,
3%, 3%,
3%,
3%.
This is so reminiscent of Chicago when Chicago got it and drafted Derrick Rose.
Yeah, there's no Derrick Rose in the league though. Right there in the college, there's a Derrick Rose. I don't know. I don't watch college. Is there a guy that talented?
Oh no. So I mean, even like the guy who they think is the first pick. No knock on him. I don't know him. Shout out to him, his family.
Yeah.
But he's not the traditional first round pick. Like, you don't know what he's gonna be. There's some work there. He got the talent, but he's raw. He's raw. Okay. So I don't know.
So from what I heard, it's like the top 5 can any one of the top 5 can go number 1. That's what they're saying. Hey,
John and Ron, for them to get number 1, something is behind the scene.
Oh yeah.
either Trey or the other cat is about to be traded, and they know that, or Murray is going, or who knows, even both. And it's like, hey, we about to hit this reset. This is what's going to happen, and this, like, we will give you number 1 if that's the case. But it's things like that it blows like pulse on that. But it just, the level of inconsistency. Certain things happen this year, and we have a trajectory of the last 10 to 20 years that has never been changed, and all of a sudden it changes. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, this is the main reason the fan base, they get pissed off. Right. Because the fan base, like, they look at the previous history, they start analyzing, they start saying, well, based on what happened for the last 10 or 20 years, most likely this is what's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. New York 3. This and this and that. So let me Atlanta get number 1.
Let me ask you this, Nice. Knowing that you already feel a certain way about how things have transpired with the NBA and what's been happening with the Knicks, do you still give the Knicks a chance of winning this series versus Indiana?
Oh yeah, I know that you heard me this morning, bro. Like, for some reason, I have a feeling like that. Like this team is doing something special. I'm not used to seeing that when the team, a facial expression, they show to the fan base that they're about to quit. Like that is over. Back in previous history, Knicks are known for that. But this new team, for some reason, like I just cannot overlook that they always find a way. They always find a way. Somebody is going to be like Devo. Yesterday, the way he looked at Halliburton yesterday, it's like one of those, like, bro, I'm going to get ready, and you better be ready, because if he's opening that can of worm that he should have just stayed quiet, like game 1 and game 2. Game 1 and game 2, he wasn't taunting nobody. He was
because he was humbled, because he didn't have his shot. He couldn't. He wasn't playing up to his. So you can't talk crap if you don't got it. And he knew he didn't have it. But once he started cooking, all of a sudden he started barking. And then yesterday, I knew it was a matter of time, John. I know
that's
him.
That's the new generation, though. That's the new generation. The new generation could be 0 for 21, hit 1-3, and they're like this.
Ice in my
you know what I mean? Or they're calling somebody small. They're doing all of that. And it's like, you hit one shot the entire game, dog. Like, stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the new generation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the cloth he's from. So I think the Villanova 3, I think the plan is to really come out tomorrow's game. I think they're gonna it's a statement game. It's gonna be a statement game. You know what I mean? It's like, y'all thought we was, you know what I mean? Because that's all you heard today was the Knicks, that's over, the Pacers. Everybody's calling the Pacers victorious in this series because they feel like, you know, Tibbs is running them, you know, ragged, and they ain't got enough to get through them. But I just think like the game's gonna start, and you're gonna see from first quarter on, all that applied pressure is gonna just like take over the Knicks. And I think we may win by 30-40 just on the get back. You know what I mean? Because the Pacers for me is like, if you humble them, they ain't got what it takes to like come back from a, you know what I mean? Like they came back from that 8-point deficit. I give them credit there, but it was more our doing than it was theirs. Like we let go of the gas. So for me, it's like tomorrow is like from start to finish, we're on attack mode. You know what I mean? You got 6 fouls, you're gonna use them all. You know what I'm saying?
But you saw the part where Jalen Brunson, he took a 3 shot and he's landing, and he lands clearly on one of the Indiana Pacers foot. Like, what are we doing? Like, I understand that you guys are refs and stuff, and maybe you guys are getting too much in between. Like, hey, we don't have a front row, but we live in it. You cannot miss things like that. He's having a problem with his foot.
Right.
How, like, if you are not protecting them, how could we literally see this series going even longer? But at least I really appreciate Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a freaking dog, man. And excuse my language. For him to say it's going to be a long effing series, either in halftime or at the end of the game, like, bro, I have a feeling like they going to show us something that we never seen before yet tomorrow, bro.
Right.
Like,
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you guys
down to the wire. I don't think it's not coming down to a 2-3 point game. It's coming down. I think we're gonna smack them tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's the plan to go out there and put a lesson on these guys, and you know, and I hope they do. And I think they will. I mean, listen, I don't necessarily know if they're gonna blow them out by 20-30, but I do think it's gonna be a comfortable victory. Like, I don't think they're just trying to win. I think they're trying to win and show that I don't care whatever we got going on. Y'all feeling yourself a little too much, because these guys is talking, they're getting hype, and because they were talking and got hype, you know, Knick players is like, yo, I mean, you know, we get it. You guys are young, but Halliburton, listen, thank you, Halliburton. I appreciate that. Those young mistakes is what we need to get us fired up. Thank you so much. And speaking of that, because of that happening, and obviously Diva was upset, Brunson was upset. The Knicks
Brunson has some words, but what's the name too at the end of the game? With OG,
Siakam, yeah. So because of that, Knicks call a team only meeting, folks. That's right, players only. And you know, listen, players try not to use these meetings too often, but when it happens, it's for a reason, and usually something good is coming out of it, because the players have to get on the same page. They not worried about the coaching staff. They're worried about the guys on the court. What do we got to do to get right? These dudes try to embarrass us. They dancing, they talking. Not tomorrow. So I think this players only meeting was huge. I think the Knicks are going to come out, like John said, like Nice said, they're going to come out and try to make a statement with the garden cooking, with the fans in the building, with MSG booing and throwing the you know, whatever they can as far as verbal insults at Indiana, because you know it's going to get crazy. Now it's going to get crazy, because now the Knicks fans is upset. So it's going to get wild, man. It's going to get wild. So what do you guys think about the players only meeting?
That's great, because that's what you expect. Like that's what leadership is. It's like, take accountability for how you all played, because y'all played like crap, you know, and they owned it. You know what I'm saying? So
it really happened. That play.
Oh no, yeah, it really happened. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, things like that, I don't even care, man. I could see, bro, that something beautiful is going to come out of this team. Like I love the energy. I love like yeah, we man, like there's a lot of man down, but man, we here.
Yeah.
I don't even care. There's 6 or 7 bodies paused. Hey, we still gonna be fighting.
It's the next man mentality. You gotta have it. Y'all in the NBA, y'all all professionals. Y'all got here for a reason. So show your worth. That's really what it comes down to, right? All the way down to the 15th man on the bench. Show your worth. If your worth is you got to clap it up for the next man, then show your worth. You know what I mean?
But John, for the last 3 or 4 years, or even 5 years, when have you ever heard the Knicks doing a player meeting?
Nah, I mean, what was the last one? Was the last one?
It was
with Melo?
No.
They had one when it was Jeremy Lin. You remember?
Yeah, but
I think that was for a different reason.
years ago, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, they had a players only meeting.
Right.
And I can't remember exactly when it was, but I remember the meeting.
It
so
was
yeah,
Julius
but it doesn't
saying, give me the ball.
It doesn't happen too often. It doesn't happen too often.
The only two players involved in that play meeting was RJ and Randall. Just telling him, hey, once RJ got into that room, he's looking around. Hey man, where's the rest? Nah, it's you. Give me the ball.
Give me the rock.
Yeah. That was with those days. And shout out to the Knicks once again. We've come a long way, man. We've come a long way. Man. So we got that, the players only meeting. But I think we should kind of hear, because I was interested. I didn't get a chance to listen to it because, like I said, I was busy running around. But it's time for a little juicy tidbits. Let's see what's going on. See how Tibbs felt about this whole thing. Shout out to the Public Enemy, #1 in the building. Said Tibbs hasn't learned his lesson yet with that same old school coaching ways. Run him in the ground, 40+ minutes, 20+ coaching years. That's y'all beloved coach. Hey man, listen, I hear you. I got you. Once again, though, I'm gonna say we in the second round of the playoffs, 50-win season. Second place in the East. Something's working. Is it good?
We ain't here if he ain't here.
But Ron and John, let's kick that VH I forgot it. I forgot that tape. That old school tape.
Oh, VHS.
Yeah.
VHS.
let's do a quick.
Damn it! Why did I have to say it? How did y'all know I knew it?
So you have Randall. It wasn't because of Coach Tibb. You got Mitchell Robinson. It wasn't because of Coach Tibb.
Mm-hmm.
OG has a history, and not no knock on OG. It's just one of those. There's certain players that they get injured. It is what it is. But that should be applied for somebody like Brunson, especially for Josh Hart. And you don't see Josh Hart complaining. Josh Hart is still giving his heart and leaving everything on the floor. Mm-hmm. So if it's one of those players, I'll be like, something. Anybody that says something like that has a point. But literally, it's been Brunson and Josh Hart, more Josh Hart than anybody else in this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me another name that got injured that it was Coach Tibb. Bogdanovich, he got injured and it wasn't even Coach Tibb. He only played for 5 or 6 minutes. So
that's true.
We can't say it was Coach Tibb.
And Coach Tibbs had nothing to do with Julius getting hurt. No. I mean, now some people are saying Julius shouldn't have been in the game at that moment, but Tibbs always plays his guys. Like,
that's
come
a
on,
freak incident right there.
That was some wild stuff. That should not. That was the craziest injury ever. And Mitch is just a Teflon Don. So right. I don't know.
But on top of that, you asked any player in this league, do you mind playing heavy minutes? Not the majority of them are going to say they don't care about. They want to play every minute of every game if they can, right. Especially in the playoffs. Playoffs, there's no question that they don't want to come out. You know what I mean? It plays to Tibbs' favor because even if he wants to take someone out, the players themselves don't want to come out.
So look at the whole league. The Greek Freak, it was Coach Tibbs' fault. Embiid was Coach Tibbs' fault. Like, literally, there's players that gets hurt. It is what it is.
And even the Mitchell. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to repeat if you said that already. I might have been bugging out. I mean, the Mitchell Robinson has nothing to do with Tibbs either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he got hurt early in the first 21 games of the season. He got hurt. He played 21 games. He got hurt at the 21st game. Right. Mm-hmm. Then now, I mean, if anybody's to blame for Mitch getting hurt, it's Embiid. Both times led to him getting hurt. The pulling on the leg, and then he landed on and that took him out the game. Like it's not Tibbs' fault. But I hear you. All right, guys, let's see. I got Mets backstage. I'm gonna bring you up, Mets, but we're gonna watch this juicy tidbit. So we'll get your thoughts after. Okay. All right, let's do this. And now it's time for Juicy Tidbits.
kind of ran out of gas in this one.
Yep. Fell behind early. Didn't respond well. So, got to fix it.
How do you fix, I guess, dead legs? Is it just rest and recovery? What do you do from there?
Get ready for the next one. We started slowly. They made shots, got a big lead, snowballed. So, we got to respond. It's not just OG, but OG was out for a good chunk of the season, so that's no excuse. Just get it done. Well, in going into the game, I think we were first in 3-point percentage. So, I want to take a look at them. I thought we had some wide open ones that we missed early that probably took some energy out of us, and we can't allow that to happen. They're all the same. They're all the same. It's not good. So whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 30, it's a loss. So you have to respond the right way. No, I mean, hey, look, we're disappointed, and the thing is we can't have a hangover. We got to fix it, and we have to come with a will and determination to respond to what happened. And I think that's the biggest thing. And this team has responded all year, so that's what we're expecting to do. We got to put the work into it and be ready to go. I wanted to. We were in such a big hole, so I changed because I wanted to add speed to the game to see if we could make a run there. And so once we got to a certain point, it just made more sense to do what we did, and I wanted to get a look at some other guys too. Well, they have, and that's what they can fall back on, is having the belief and knowing that we've been through this before.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Are the Pacers about as tough a team to face when you don't have your legs, just because of the full court pace, but also the movement?
Their movement it's like, to me, Halliburton is an offense to himself, but you can't overlook what McConnell is bringing and what Nembhard's bringing. So it's the dribble penetration. It's more the pick and roll game, and then you add in the transition. So it's a compilation of things. But that's every team you face, you're facing certain challenges, and so yeah, I thought we were slow to the ball, and usually we're very quick to the ball. So that's the biggest thing, and then everything starts with our ball pressure. We got to make sure that we have good ball pressure, and then the shell. And if you're a step behind in the shell, you're going to give up high percentage shots. So we got to take a look at it and see, make the corrections, and then be ready and have that will and determination to bounce back.
Yeah. So there's juicy tidbits for the day, man. That's Tibbs' thoughts on what took place in the game. Knicks got some stuff they got to work on. The other thing that kind of stinks with regards to this stuff is that these teams don't have a chance to have full practices in between games to make really proper adjustments. That's this type of stuff that used to make series better back in the day as well, when a team could see what you throw at them, and if it works, you guys get the win, and they could come back with an adjustment, like, because they worked on it and then practiced it, and then they came out and implemented it. You don't get any of that. Everything's on the fly these days. Well, anyway, shout out to Mets. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Pissed Met the Diaz is going through familiar 2018 mode. Blew the save against Philly tonight, and they lost in extras.
It's a tough time.
Anyway, in regards to what Tibbs said, how about, I don't know, Brunson quit being a damn ball hog. He's supposed to keep his head up and move the ball to other players. He keeps putting his head down and just dribble, and then he gets him caught. He gets boxed in by Nembhard, Neesmith, and whoever the hell Carlisle swarms him with, which leads to those zombie configurations. Call for a damn screen, Brunson. Quit being a damn ball hog. And 2, go under the screens defensively, not over the top.
Yeah, listen. I hear you. Look, maybe in some other games you might point to when Brunson doesn't have it going, like in game 3, you could say he should have done it. Well, hold on. in game 3, you could say, well, Brunson didn't have it going, so maybe he should have looked for his teammates and kind of settled into that playmaker, facilitator type role a little bit more to help us get that victory. But in game 4, I mean, if Brunson's not going to be a ball hog and he's going to pass the ball, who's he going to pass it to? Miles McBride, 6 for 17, Dante DiVincenzo, 3 for 13.
Better either.
Josh Hart, 1 for 6.
Yeah.
Like, who's he passing it to that's going to knock down some shots? Because they all stunk.
Game 4, right?
They all stunk. So I hear you, and because I know that there's a lot of Knicks fans, not just Mets, a lot of Knicks fans that feel that Brunson, shout out to my guy Craig, wherever you are, Craig, that feel like Brunson holds on to the ball too much, and it's too much ISO ball, too much hero ball, as they like to say.
This is the same crap we bitched about with Randall before Brunson came along.
True. But notice when Brunson came along, Randall didn't have to do that anymore because Brunson was here. But now Brunson is here with no Randall. And if Brunson's hurt, he can't be the Brunson that actually – it's okay to call your number if you can back it up. But when you're hurt and it's not working, this is when the fans start to get upset. And this is when it doesn't look good on paper. But it was working. When it was working, it was fine.
I think it's a part of the schema that the Knicks run. That's all it really is. He really relies on his main player to create the offense and then make the right decisions when in the flow of the offense. So if
he's basically worried about that hobbled foot and short arming every shot, it gets more and more frustrating
for the fan. And I mean, for him, it's about the next one goes in. I mean, I played ball, so I don't know, Mets, have you played basketball at any elite level?
I played youth developmental when I was like 10.
Right. Okay. So that's youth basketball, right? So at a certain level, when you're at a certain level of playing basketball and you're a go-to player, every shot you shoot, you feel like it's a good shot. And if you need one to knock down, if you knock down one, you feel like the next one's going to go in. And you feel like the next one's going to go in. And so that rhythm is all comes into play when you hit that first shot. And I think for Brunson, he is that sort of player where if he can see the ball go in the rim, he knows that he's going to get hot. It's just a matter of time. Same thing with DiVincenzo. Same thing with Deuce. It's just a matter of taking quality shots.
John, here's the thing. When I was playing, I wasn't a scorer. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So I compensated by prioritizing defense, ball hounding, chasing it, stealing it. That's how I facilitated. But then again,
that's Josh Hart. That's what Josh Hart does, right?
Uncopious amounts of ass. We only got one damn win during my time.
but it's understandable, and I don't want to compare your youth time to like NBA professional basketball because I know it's totally different. But I understand what you're saying. But and understand this too, like right now, is a lot of bad things happening that are affecting this Knicks team, and so it goes back to the whole thing when the trade deadline when Bogdanovich and Burks came here. And they were put in roles, and we weren't seeing necessarily the great play from either one of them. Bogey was a little better, but both of them were struggling. And Burks was, forget about it, right? But a lot of people, like myself, said that, another thing you have to look at is, like, these guys are brought here, but they were brought here to be bench pieces and to play those roles and be complementary pieces. And because we're injured with all these guys out, they're forced to take on bigger roles, and we don't really want them in those roles. And so we couldn't really see them the way we wanted to see them, right? Now, the flip side is this Knicks team that has next man up all year, all heart, no quit. Now they got no Bogey, no OG right now, no Mick, no Rent. It's like too many big pieces of the pie not available, and all that does is put more pressure on Jalen Brunson. Then you get Jalen Brunson hurt, so now he's hobbled and can't even play effective the way he normally would. Whether he's a ball hog or not, we're not getting the best of Jalen Brunson. He's not out there feeling confident and knocking down shots. He's missing layups. He don't miss layups. He shoots 50% in the paint. Like, this is not the Jalen Brunson we're used to. So all of that being said,
we're gonna get him tomorrow.
Oh no.
I guarantee
Tomorrow,
you're gonna get the
feeling
best of Brunson.
He's coming out tomorrow. Yes,
He's
I
gonna
feel
cook.
he is.
He's
But I'm
due
just
for
saying,
a great game.
The Knicks are about as demoralized as the Ducks were in D2, to where they need to rest. And Bombay basically got told to his face by the tutor that he was running the team ragged. They're collapsing in practice, and they were basically calling him Captain Blood. Tibbs is in that spot.
Yes, an Emilio Estevez reference, folks. Let's go.
They're gonna show him. They're gonna show him that clip.
But I truly believe it's not Tibbs, man. Like since the beginning, since Julius Randle he went down, it has always been since that moment. Next man up. What can you expect from this dude if every single time when all right, next man up, we calling on Deuce, he's not producing. We calling on Alex Berg, he's not producing, and it's no knocks on them. But at the same time, we cannot keep on blaming on Tibbs. If it wasn't because of Tibbs with his stubborn ways, we wouldn't be in the position that we at right now. Unfortunately, every single time he's tried to rest either one of those cat, whoever he decided to bring up and next man up mentality, they wasn't producing. So it's too much. It's like it's one of those, bro. Like that's the card you was dealt. You just got to play it.
Right.
It's
at this point, you got no choice. At this point, we don't have the choice. We don't have the options to go anywhere else. So you have to play the players that we have available. And he's only going to play the players that he feels fits and that he's comfortable playing, that he understands. They know the strategy. They understand the offense. They understand the defensive scheme. And I'm going to play those guys. And then you live and die with that team. You know what I mean? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Those guys have to step up. They're NBA players for a reason. They got to step up. Deuce has to be better, and that's what I'm expecting tomorrow. As soon as he gets in the game, he needs, even if I don't even know what the starting squad is going to be like. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to start tomorrow. But regardless, once he's in the rotation and he's playing, you expect more. You need to expect more from Deuce. Deuce can't be relying just on the jump shot or on the three-point shot. He needs to drive to the basket and look for the kick out passes. And he's got to be a factor. He has to be able to score, because if he isn't scoring, that definitely is in the Pacers' favor, right? If Deuce isn't scoring, that allows for the defenses to play off of him. You know what I mean? And then make it worse on the players that are trying to drive into the basket, like a Jalen Brunson or DiVincenzo. Because at that point they're going to collapse. They don't care about Deuce shooting.
I would say don't stay. I mean, John said it too. Like you want to see the Knicks come out and do some different things as well on offense. Like don't stay stagnant with the same sets and stuff that Indiana obviously already knows what you're bringing, and they know you're hobbled. Right. You don't even have the right personnel to orchestrate it the way in which you want to. So now they can just key in. So let's do some wrinkles. Let's get some Deuce. If he's got it going from three, fine. But if Deuce doesn't have it going from three early,
get to the basket.
Deuce get to the basket, and he's got a good mid-range shot. Like get him a point where he can kind of get to a spot and take a nice, comfortable mid-range. The bottom line is for the ball to go in the hoop, and that's for all these guys. They need easy baskets. Indiana got tons of easy baskets, and they even made their threes look easy because they were all wide open. We need to do the same.
Again, we were going too far over the top on the screens instead of cutting under.
It's easier said than done. I mean, it's really about the position of the offensive player, right? Because if you got a shooter, right, and if they're clicking, you got to go over. If they're not shooting it well, you go under. And that's game by game decisions. That's not an all the time thing. Like every game is going to be different depending on the situation.
And then when you get the cutter situation, they're too slow to get back. I mean, the cutter after the Knicks got the first blood. Hart was too slow getting back, jaw-jacking, run, and allowed, I don't remember which one it was, to cut by him and lay it up.
Man, but that comparison, like, you need to see the playing style that the Knicks has and the playing style that the Pacer has. Pacer style is running. Our playing style is not running like that. We don't run like that. Now, of course, we do fast break here and there. Don't get me wrong. But Pacers, that's the main reason you look at Josh Hart third game, what was it? He had 18 rebounds, but neither one of them was offensive. You want to know why? Because once Pacers get that ball, it's running. It's less, forget about 5 seconds. It's less than 4 seconds.
Yeah. And you know, another thing to look at too
Rocco
is
Brooklyn. Why don't you do a favor and quit mocking me?
Don't stress it, man. It's you know, it's okay. And
everybody's
guys,
entitled to their opinion. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, Mets, you aren't 100% wrong, and we aren't 100% right at the time.
Correct.
You know, you have your opinion, and that's what
we just have to be. We have to be respectful of each other, whether or not you're in the chat or you're on the panel. That's what we all have to do. You know, whether or not we agree or disagree, whatever it is, everybody has a chance to be heard. So let's all at least try to respect that. So, you know, geez, it's incredible. Indiana shot 56% from the field and 45% from three as a team, and they shot 87% from the free throw line.
That's crazy.
Which basically means there's not a lot of rebounds. So playing into the Knicks' strength is rebounding. We couldn't get the rebounds and capitalize on that because they weren't missing. So it's tough. Like, there's going to be a night where I don't care how good you are defensively. This is any team, the best defensive team ever. There's going to be a night where they play a team and that team is on fire. It just happens. I believe yesterday was that day for Indiana. They got one of those games where all of them were knocking. I mean, they were just moving the ball around. Naismith was hit. They even talked about, you know, TJ McConnell, for example. Now, TJ McConnell shoots the three at a high clip, but apparently he doesn't take a lot of them.
He doesn't take
because
them, right?
He's not comfortable. He was comfortable yesterday. He took his 2 shots. Obi took his 2. And then, you know, you got the Miles Turner hitting all types of rainbow 3. Like, it was crazy. It is what it is, guys. It's a bad one.
Tomorrow's game is going to be a game where Tibbs decides one person who's not an elite scorer is going to have to beat you. I can expect him to trap certain players on that team and make Obi beat you. Make a Nemhart. What's the kid's name that is a Nemhart beat you? You know what I mean? And I think those guys aren't like the top-notch scorers in this league. And so he's gonna force their hand. Like, you're gonna get the ball out of Siakam's hand. He's been cooking this entire series. You can't get him to have a pace of his game, right? So you're gonna have to double and trap him and make him move the ball. Halliburton, again, you gotta give him different looks. You gotta put different bodies on him. You know, you gotta, not necessarily chase him off the 3-point line, but really redirect where he wants to go with the ball. You know what I mean? And then, and really just, it's really going to come down to a strategy, and then us clicking on all cylinders. Like I was saying, on the offensive side, I want to see a little bit different schemes on the offensive side from Tibbs. If I'm Tibbs, I'm running a lot of pick and roll with DiVincenzo, and then I'm leaving Hart in the corner, and I'm giving Jalen Brunson another corner. You know what I mean? Give him shots that is like allow DiVincenzo and Deuce to be the facilitators, versus it being Brunson. Given some shifts and changes. You know what I mean? And then you go back to a Brunson ISO from time to time, or a pick and roll with Hartenstein, and Brunson. So I want to see some different looks. I know they have the ability to do so. We've seen it during this season. So I expect a lot of new nuances tomorrow.
I agree.
You guys think that everything that we see in Jericho Sim is it because he hasn't been playing this long, or could it be that he's retaliating for not being put in no games when he should? Because, man, I knew that Jericho Sims, sometimes he be playing nutty.
It's meant to.
But at this point, it's like when you do 1, twice, 3 times, and it's like, bro, come on, man. Like we knew that you wasn't like a Hartenstein or Mitch, but you play way better than this. What's happening?
There's a mental block, right? I mean, it comes down to like not every player is gonna have the mental IQ to stick with the same sort of play. There's an aptitude of playing in high leverage games, right? Like player specifically, you gotta either have it or you don't. And right now, Tibbs don't trust him. That's really what it comes down to. That's why he isn't playing. That's why they're going to pressures versus going to. And we're undersized. We're playing pressures as an undersized 5 when we could be playing Sims, but because Sims isn't like being
so
like it's not necessary, and it's also he's played enough years of basketball. It's just IQ. When you're expected to do certain things on the basketball court and you don't, that's a pet peeve for any coach. The coach gonna look at like, yo, you're supposed to be covering this particular person, or you're supposed to be calling a back cut and you're not seeing it and you're not calling it out. Like those certain nuances to the game where you just have to have it. And for whatever reason, Sims ain't having it right now. Sims is in the doghouse.
Sims is a naive idiot.
No, I wouldn't go. That's a stretch, but I would say that he just isn't. He just isn't seeing the game correctly right now. You know what I mean? I would never call. He's in the NBA for a reason.
But John, make that comparison from last year, John and Ron. Did we see him that bad? Was he that bad?
No, he wasn't. I mean, he's played a lot poorer.
Or the year before that, he was at least somewhat competent.
Yeah, like
but you know, saying,
like,
I think he still can be. I just think the trust is gone. I think the trust is gone.
Listen, you guys listen. If you remember early shows before, like 3-4 months ago, when I was talking about Jericho Sims, I don't know what it is, man, but you could tell like he's in Tibbs's doghouse for whatever reason. There's something that he's not doing or not picking up that Tibbs is not happy about. Right now, we did see bits and pieces where Jericho went out there. He showed some effort, some hustle, and there was points where he was actually doing good jobs rebounding when he got some good playing time. But when he doesn't get playing time, and it's not fair, it's not right, but it also shows that, the Knicks are at a certain level where certain things is not good enough.
We cannot say what's right or wrong, man. It's the NBA, man. It's a cutthroat league, man. Either you got it or you don't. I mean, at some point,
that's where we're at.
The conversation with Bobo right now, right? Bobo, before he was with Phoenix, he was cooking. He was starting to get like, a legit, look. And then he's with Phoenix, and now he's not getting the same look, and he's not getting the same touches. So you either in favor with your coach or you're out of favor with your coach. And whatever it is that he needs to do to make that up, he needs to do it on himself. Like that's something he needs to do. At the end of the day, can we use him? Absolutely. He got 6 fouls to give, right? I always say a guy like that, you got to throw in and you got to bully some people around, from time to time, and if it comes down to that, then that's the strategy we may have to take. But for right now, he just doesn't seem to be in good graces with Tibbs. And I think that's part of that has to do with his play on the court. I don't know anything about outside the court because I'm not in the locker room. I can't assume anything. But I think from seeing him play this year, it seems like he's not regressed, but he hasn't caught on to the scheme that they want to run defensively.
Bro, he went backward. Compared to last year, he went back. Like right now, whenever they put Jericho Sim, I'm not scared about Jericho Sim. I'm scared about him hurting somebody because if you look at he has that crazy type of strength that if he cashes somebody, it might even get that might be it. That might be the reason that whatever play he hits, man, might end up being retired.
I mean, he's a big guy. He's a strong young man, and we need to see if hopefully because they're going to need him again tomorrow. If hopefully he can build off of what he did do in his last game, because there was a play early that he looked bad. I was like, what is he doing? I was like, you got to get him out of here. But unfortunately, they needed to play him, and so in the end, he played 15 minutes. He finished with 6 rebounds, which is tied for the most of any Knick, and I know that's crazy, but it is what it is. And he had 2 steals and 4 points. So it's a promising thing. Maybe he gets a little bit more comfortable. So now tomorrow's game, he'll be in a much better position to contribute.
Right.
Hopefully.
And I think someone said it. None other said Sims is only good at setting screens, and I think that's a plus, right?
Yeah.
You're big. If you can set a solid screen or solid pick and roll action, then that's a plus because we need a big body to separate Brunson from his defender. You know what I mean? Or DiVincenzo. And I think you need that. The key is he slipping off of that pick and roll? And is he where he needs to be? Because obviously he isn't a jump shooter, so he's not going to roll to the 3-point line. It's really diving to the basket. Is he in his spot? Because if you don't give yourself an opportunity to give a lane to catch the ball, then what's the point of you diving to the basket? You can dive. There's people who dive all the time and they do it incorrectly. You can't. You got to dive and you got to give yourself some space in order to have the point guard or whoever is rolling off the pick to have a place to pass the ball to. Because at that point, you make it hard on the defender to choose. If you can jump that high, you got to have spacing. You know what I mean?
John, what's the point of having a guy that could touch the top of the backboard? He can't catch no dunks.
But that's part of the issue right there, right? Like you got to give yourself enough spacing in order to catch the lob.
But he was like all the lobs that when Emmanuel Quickley was playing, and they had Emmanuel Quickley with Jericho Sims,
right?
Man, those lobs was right on point, bro. Like
and RJ
Jericho
Barrett,
Sims,
right?
But this is, I'm telling you, this has something to do with Jericho Sims. It has nothing to do with anybody getting him the ball. You know why I say that? Because now Deuce has become a big part of the Knicks rotation. And Deuce and Jericho, if you guys remember the G League days, they were playing together. And Deuce was throwing Jericho all types of lobs in the G League.
Yeah.
So they have familiarity. It's not them. It's something with him.
But this is what I mean. Like, and if they're playing, and I could see if you're saying he's running the offense with Jalen Brunson and Jalen Brunson ain't finding them. But a lot of times it's Deuce and him on a pick and roll. Like you were catching it during the G League era. Like why now are you not? And again, it's more so him not being aware of where you need to be. It's floor spacing. When you run a pick and roll, you gotta roll a certain way, and you gotta attack the basket at in a certain angle in order for someone to either give you a lob or a pass so you can throw it down. I just think he's just not, I think he's getting fumbled by the defense. I think the defense that they're showing him is not necessarily what he's used to. You know what I mean? Because what they're doing is they're crowding the paint, the paint. So they're throwing 3 people at you. And so now he's like unaware. And if he gets the secondary pass, he has to be willing to kick the ball out. And he's not that efficient. And like, it's really player movement, player IQ,
John, they are crowding it, but they not crowding it to the point that they do respect either one of our center. Because if you look at the way that they defend the 3-point line, pretty much everything is open. If they use either Sins, either Hart or Ashua correctly, I'm pretty sure there will be more. Like, no, we need to control more inside the paint, because the thing is that these mother flowers are going crazy. But until we don't penetrate in a way that it makes them second guess themselves, like we cannot leave this paint open. We're not gonna give either Alex Burke, either Josh Hart or Diva, especially Diva, the way he was shooting those great looks, even those as well.
Yeah. We got to make them honest, like you're saying. We got to make them honest. And the only way to make them honest is making shots, right? You got to make layups. You got to attack the rim and drive to the basket, get some dunks, get some easy putbacks, get some layups, because that's going to open up the entire game, especially from 3.
Yep, 100%. I agree. We got a couple more minutes. And then we got to get out of here because it's getting late. But I want to give a quick shout out to the chat once again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Corey Scott, I think this might be your first time. I don't think I remember seeing you in the chat. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. JM3 is in the building. Salute. Thank you for being here as always. King Ribby's in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to none other, as John mentioned you before. Thank you for being here and rocking. I think you might be new to the chat as well. Thank you for being here. Sang Freud is in the building. Salute. Good to see you again. Cotton Candy in the building. I don't know if I've seen you before, Cotton Candy. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Shout out to.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Click that like button. You know.
Shout out to my guy Space Ghost. Good to see you. D-Ras in the building. Mets Knicks fans, let's go is in the building. The controversial one tonight, Wacko in Brooklyn is in here. Salute to you. Oh man. Appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for being here and rocking. As John said, please smash that like button. It don't cost you nothing. It's free. It helps us. And if you want to hit the little emoji thing with the heart and all that stuff that's on the right hand side in the chat, boom, 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 boom. You know, by all means, you know, nobody's gonna hold that against you. Let me see. Let me see if you know, I can hit a couple myself. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Get it started with some hearts. All right, there you go. So if y'all could do that, YouTube likes it. Don't mind us, guys. Hit whatever you want, but I appreciate that. But definitely hit that like button. And if you guys forget what it looks like, you know, I'll show you real quick.
Yeah, that was it.
That is weird. Nothing's playing, and we're rocking, y'all. Yay!
That was it. It went like this. There's something going on, bro.
I don't know what's happening. I hear it, but I don't
good.
see it.
You got infiltrated by Pacers.
Oh man!
Guys, what time would the 6 game be? 6:30 o'clock.
Okay.
I think we got 8 o'clock, right? Tomorrow?
No,
6 p.m. on my
Friday.
end.
Oh, the Friday game?
On Friday.
Who knows? It's probably going to be an 8 o'clock game.
It's at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
I'm thinking 6 on Friday because the 8:30 game is Denver against Minnesota.
Yeah, no, tomorrow's definitely an 8. I don't know about Friday.
I don't think they're going to push the New York game up early. I don't see that happening.
And especially it's a Friday. I never heard of
Yeah.
it.
And it's if it's a Friday, they'll play late. It doesn't matter.
play
They can
at
start
8
at 10 o'clock.
game.
They can have a 10 o'clock
You
game.
can't do it like 10 or 11. That's stupid.
Well, not for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I hate when they push an East Coast game to a 10 o'clock starting time.
Yeah, I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to do that. I think, if anything, some other team is going to probably play in conjunction with our team, and then we probably won't, you know, they
The
won't
only
see
other
the same
teams playing
airtime.
would be Denver and Minnesota. I already checked. They got the 8:30 slot. So best case scenario, we get pushed. That game gets pushed to the Knicks game gets pushed to 6, and worst case, we start at 10.
You know what? Sounds crazy, but Mets, you might be right. I actually could see them pushing the Knicks game up to 6. I don't know. That's
hella early, though.
That's nuts. But you know, whatever.
How many days is Boston getting off? They have like 4 days off or 5? What the bleep is happening?
Listen, I don't. Knicks fans.
Denver and Nuggets, they played the Thursday game. They played Thursday at 8:30, so it won't be them.
But you see what I'm saying?
then
Like, what
you
about
got
us? Why
Cleveland.
we?
They got Cleveland and Cavaliers set for a Friday game, 8:30.
Oh, that game. But again, that means best case scenario, our game starts at 6. Worst case, 10.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Not on a Friday.
Yeah, I don't
Not in
think.
New
Nah,
York.
I don't.
Oh no,
Yeah, I
that
don't
would be in
think-
Indiana, right? That would be in Indiana.
Oh no, it
game
would be in
6.
Indiana. Yeah.
And both games are on ESPN, which makes the situation even worse.
They're probably going to start the Knicks at 6. I could see 6, maybe 7. Maybe because you could start that second game at 10. It's a West Coast game.
No, it's an East
Most-
Coast game. Cleveland.
Yeah, they have the Cleveland.
It's the Cleveland game.
Celtics,
Oh,
8:30,
that's
yeah.
right.
8:30.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, yeah, that's weird. My fault. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so
I
that-
apologize.
Played at 6.
Right.
Yeah, they have to play at 6.
I think you're right, Mets. I think the 10
It's going to
o'clock.
be it's
gonna
probably
be
going to. You know what? It's probably going to be 6 for the
Mhm.
Knicks, and then the 8:30 start, which won't be an 8:30 start.
It's only
'cause they'll
2
keep
games.
pushing- No, but they'll keep pushing it until it'll actually be like a 9 o'clock start by the time.
Oh,
the
you
Knicks
think
game's
you
finished.
think Celtics will start at 9?
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
Hmm.
I don't know. You don't want to play both
No,
games and not have
they-
people tune in, and they're both
they
on
already-
ESPN.
No, they already
worst
have
case
it out.
scenario, both games are games get region locked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah, Celtics is playing at 8:30. It's locked.
Yeah. So the
Yeah, no,
Knicks
I
have
mean,
probably
no,
10.
I know the start game of the game will be 8:30, but it won't actually start at 8:30. Like they'll wait until the first game finishes before they actually kick off the second one.
That's if
so I hear you.
wins on Wednesday. If they lose, then the game doesn't happen, and we get that 8:30 spot.
Right. Okay, cool. All right, listen, we broke it down here. You only get this here on Still Knicks Fans. No, anyway, y'all know what we do. Shout out to Jay in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here and rocking and putting in your 2 cents. And shout out to this wonderful panel we got here.
8:30. Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all for doing the research, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. So before we get out of here, I just want to get everybody's final words and thoughts on tomorrow night's game. What do you think, Mets? Going to you first because you're the most pessimistic of the bunch sometimes. Do you think the Knicks can pull it off tomorrow? What?
We gotta believe.
Oh, aha.
You have to believe. I like it.
Hey, we winning. If that came out of Mets mouth, man, forget it. We winning.
I mean, look, the Mets, I will say this, and to all fellow Knicks fans out there that may be a little upset and like questioning what's going on. Yeah, we know OG's out and all these other guys are out. But keep in mind, OG was out in game 3, and we still had a chance to win that game. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go. Well, okay. All right. That's true. But let's go in the positive mindset that these Knicks are going to have something to play for now because they're upset. They're going to have something to play for now because Indiana tried to clown them. They're going to have something to play for now because they're back at home in the Garden with the New York Knicks fans. They're going to have something to play for now because they called the player-only meeting.
And they're going to have something to play for because now they'll have the reps in their pockets.
Well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it, but I'm not mad at it. So, okay. All right. Nice. What's your thoughts, brother?
If whatever is the coach name in Indiana,
Carlisle.
Yeah, for the last 2 games, I ain't heard you complaining about refs. So you better not be complaining once we get this win because the level of staying professional or keeping it professional is one thing, but all that thing, it reminds me back again from ATL. You remember that when we needed to. We already knew the mashup and we was about to go up against ATL. Man, all of a sudden, even the ATL coach says something. I'm telling you, it's one of those, bro, that they just copying from one another because they just trying to propel and make it look good and give the team more motivation to go out swinging. But I'll just say this, like our 3 best players, like a lot of people slept on them. And everything, they took out the challenge. They all knew that they wasn't bench players, and the whole league. That's the main reason that they hate this team, because this team is proving them wrong. Like, it's one thing with one player. You can't say nothing about 3 players, and all these 3 players is proving them wrong. And we all got superstar. This New York team, bro, like, I wouldn't be surprised. We have 5 superstars. They talking about, oh, but who's our big 3? Nah, bro, we got 5. We got 5, and those 3 is the main one running everything. So, of course, we get in that win tomorrow, and it's personal.
I like it.
Ron, do you want to join me and the Blorange Tears crew in playback to watch the game tomorrow night?
Are you doing playback tomorrow night?
Nice.
I'll see. I mean, I might if I have a moment and there's nothing crazy, depending on me working from home tomorrow, then maybe I'll pop in. That sounds good. Before I get over to John, shout out to AP in the chat. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you. He says, I have my doubts, but I would reluctantly feel they are going to win. Okay. I like it. I mean, it is what it is. John, what's your thoughts? Tomorrow we get it done. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, listen, it's a must win. It's a must-win for our New York Knicks. It is what it is. If you lose tomorrow's game, you can call this series over because it's going to be extremely difficult to win 2 in a row. So,
He
um,
was 4 in the ECF of 94, John.
no, I get that. But for this Knicks team that's depleted the way we are, it's going to be very difficult to make that the outcome. So for me, this is a must-win tomorrow. Tomorrow needs to be our statement win to show every news station, every outlet out there who has pretty much overlooked the Knicks for this series and stated that it's over. This is our statement win. They need to show and prove tomorrow. And I think it starts with Jalen Brunson, not only being a leading scorer, but also a primary facilitator in this game tomorrow. And expect a lot of great activity and motivation from Hartenstein and Josh Hart. You know what I mean? And for me, it's the bounce back game for Deuce because we've been waiting for Deuce to actually get his off, and he hasn't gotten anything off this entire series. So I think we're going to see a lot of Deuce tomorrow, and I'm excited for tomorrow's game, man. And it's a definite watch. I'm not missing it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And plus, I mean, listen, it's just set up nicely for them to win tomorrow. Like, what's a better time to win? But now at home, you're already upset and coming back to have a chance to redeem yourself off of a blowout. I forgot that. They're coming back off of a blowout. That's another time when it's time to get back. Like, you got embarrassed, let's get back. So yeah, I like all of that in helping to show once again that this Knicks team does not quit and can get a victory. So guys, I thank you all for tuning in, showing love and supporting. We got 80 people rocking with us right now. Thank you guys so much. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. It supports the show. It looks a little something like this. Yeah, please do that. Continue to support the Knicks. I know things are a little crazy right now. I know it looks a little funky, but let's not forget this Knicks team does nothing easy. It's just the way the team is built, and we've loved and rocked with them all year, and we've seen it all year. It's still got 50 wins out of them and the 2 seed. So come on, let's not forget who this team is, and let's not stop rooting for our team and getting crazy, getting scared of a team like the Indiana Pacers, trying to take advantage of our weaknesses. But that's okay, because we're going to build from those weaknesses. We're going to flourish. We're going to provide the antidote tomorrow, man, to this venom that they're trying to spew. We're going to get them. I'm ready.
We're ready.
Right, baby. Let's go. Anyway, thank you guys once again. Thank you. Shout out to Nice for being here with us. Shout out to Mets. Thank you for being up here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the show. We appreciate it. It definitely helps us out. We are on a journey. We're on a course for 3,000 subscribers. Hopefully 5,000 by the end of the year. We want you to be along for the ride. Be a part of what we got going on. Continue to support the show. Also, if you're interested, you're always welcome to buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/StillKnickFans. And if you haven't already checked out the merch site, go to Still Knick Fans. There's a store function right there. Click on store, and you see some of the SKF merch that we got. Please help yourself to look through that stuff. Maybe something catches your eye. We will definitely continue to try to give you new styles and stuff as we go forward, but it just launched this past week, and so we'd love for you to take a look. Shout out to Christopher McLean in the building. I see you. Thank you for being here. Please, if you have some time, watch the replay, be a part of that replay gang. We'd love to have you. So now that being said, what we're going to do before we get out of here, well, should I say on the way out, we're going to play Jay Boogie's Symphony song to get that's going to put us in some good spirits, getting out of here, resting up tonight, being ready for tomorrow's game. The Garden is going to be rocking. New York City is going to be rocking. It's going to be a great thing. But as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick Fans will be back again, whether it be on Monday nights at 9. Tonight was 9:30. It is what it is. For SKF Weekly with myself, my brother John, and my brother Jose, who is still out on paternity leave with his baby girl. Shout out to you, Jose. We can't wait to have you back. We hope you're getting some sleep, but I don't think you are.
Yeah, no sleep.
Or you can Go ahead.
No, for those of you who are planning to, watch the game at home and want to join Mets and his squad on Blorange Tears, please do so. What time are you guys going on exactly? When are you starting your live?
Probably about game time, around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So 8 o'clock playback tomorrow night.
And you already know, family, Eru is always doing his as well. Watch parties, so definitely tune in to everyone, man. We always have an opportunity to tune into everyone's show, so please do so.
Yeah, and also, guys, if you haven't and you're not sure, Saturday, Know the Ledge, 11:30. I hope that I'm not going to have to talk anybody off the ledge this Saturday, because that would have mean it's not a good sign for the Knicks. Okay. All right. So let's tune in and support all the shows and the content. And if you help me out on SNY, the New York Post show, New York Got Game with my guy Dexter Henry, please do check that out on YouTube. Just go to New York Got Game and you'll see the most recent episode. It was pretty dope. I had a great time being there. And so thank you for all the support that everybody has shown and the love. Okay, so that being said, let's get out of here. Have a good night's rest, guys. The Knicks are going to do it tomorrow. Don't fret. It's going to be okay. Don't stop believing all of a sudden now because we got a little adversity. That's all the Knicks are, a team built on adversity. Come on, baby. Let's go. We out of here.
New York City, it's your girl, Lady and the Chef. And I brought some of my best podcast spitters. In fact, here come the symphony.
For the playoffs everywhere, we orange blue. Nick Game, Fly Gam, Anthony Donahue. The MSG inside is like a 4.8. And when it shake, the magnitude is like the earthquake. Truth be told, it's a bad enough reason. When they broke the news, Julius out for the season. That only mean the squad, they more locked in. 19,812 in the garden. We sold out to the max, we the best fans. From Coach Tip going back to Red Hose, man. The Frazier era, rest in peace, still a Willis Reed. It's only right I start off the Knicks Symphony. Next up,
I believe that's me.
Drugs, light up the Knicks for the symphony. As our time, you could tell we arrived. When you look up in the clouds, you see orange and blue skies. They doubted us for a long time, cause we came from nothing. Now the city on my back like Jalen Brunson. Next man up, you know you can't stop us. Run, shoot, all for the screen, you can't block us. 48 minutes of straight pain. We could do this at home or away games. There's no place like the Garden where stars is born and the loser's heart gets torn. We leave it all on the court. It's time to step up your game in 3-point range, or you gon' hear. Next up,
I believe that's me.
Trippy, light up the Knicks for the symphony.
Got JB Villanova, tell me who want wreck. Triple-headed monster, even got block nest. Orange and blue vibe, Knicks crest on your chest. Since OG, you can miss me with the Michelin nest. Chef Ragu with the shot, hit boogie, you press. Who want next? Eastbound gritty, keep it shippy, dropping 50, just crown, son. ECF up next, cut the check, we got one. Army Swift, knife mark deep if you doubt, son. It's clout, son. New York forever saying proud. It's wartime, we changing the outcome. 24, clear the path, get it done. This is our
Hey yo, it's Phil, all caps, tapping in like the 6-man. Spit all facts, never slacks. I'm a Knicks fan, slam the competition with the rhymes that I wrote. Spanning back to the days of Starks dunking on the goat. You will quote these lines, this is a squad to believe in. We've overcome adversity throughout the whole season. Super teams are fleeting, so we built a continuity. Regardless of our seeding, Captain Clutch was facing scrutiny. Cause media lies like presidential elections, so we made them a Cuban Westside connection. The grit of the 90s, the fight of our lead. Tips screaming, where you at? The whole city behind me.
Next up,
I believe that's me. Respect history of that team that played for NYC. 90s ball, Mason Oak with a shot to your ribs. From jump ball of 48, that's on the clock is for Tibbs. It's dedicated. Chip on our shoulder, 73, let's celebrate it. Trust me, it's personal, NBA Finals designated. We don't want to settle for less. Last time I checked, whoever leave with that gold medal's the best. Injury reports, messing with my head got me stressed. And then boom, here comes Deuce on the bench. Had to get off that stench. And next up, the mindset of the Knicks is step up. Who want war with us? Toe to toe, who gon' score with us? Playoffs, who gon' really win for with us?
Next up, I believe that's me. Bars and hoop, light up the Knicks for the symphony. Yo, we ain't no joking. Competition, we clip and smoke them. These Knicks is potent. Underdogs remaining focused. Don't be surprised we making moves true to the game. We got a squad with hitters ready to bring the pain. We're hard hats, bring lunch pails, grimy and gritty. With 12 middle collar guys that's running the city. Ain't nothing pretty, took 6 games to finish Philly. This for my city, NYC, better sing it with me. JV's the blueprint, in other words, he's like a spark. We draining threes from long range like Josh Hart. OG be locking it down, we built to go for a few rounds. So duck down, protect your dome and your crown. So grab your seats, sit courtside and enjoy the ride. Orange and blue, Knicks fans, we rapping it with pride. Next up, I believe that's me. Trav, light up the Knicks for the symphony. Go.
Yeah, I'm in the garden like a lawnmower, going through green like a leaf blower. Orange and blue skies by the all knower. You can see the potential if you a ball knower. I'm the king, the Knicks on the crown. If you big and bad, come stop us right now. The Brunson burner, he's shooting your lights out. This is our city, we taking the vice out. Get a grip, we be killing it, man. You be looking for your heart, but it's still in my hand. Thought you was gonna come and try to steal the win. Well, I guess we had a change of plans. God damn.
Next up,
I believe that's me.
Papa left, close out the Knicks symphony.
Bring me the smoke while they duck for the semis. All the Chucks and the Kennys getting stuck on a Fenny. Hey Becky, is Jalen 1A yet? If I hear another dame start talking out their paycheck, buck them down, no baby reindeer. These stalkers like Parker just can't be safe here. It's open season, playoff grind. I hear the Draymond Greens, they gotta play online. It take a hero to carry this city. Real work, you wash with a pod, so carry on, Gilbert. I feel perk, but this for the day ones who've been A1 on go when the hate comes. So what's a Paul Reed to a boss tweet? Get off these, we run 4-4s till it's all ring.
And that's what it sound for a Knicks symphony. And beat is in the trunk, y'all know who on deck. Every series we dropping a Knick anthem. We ain't playing no games. It's orange and blue skies, baby. Another Mike Blaze and J30 production. And I'm the closer. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Bless, health, happiness to everybody. Peace.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.